My family didn't know where I was at. I just fell
came
off
and
the
took you.
grid. Yeah, they arrested me. Yeah, and I went back to Washington D.C. Where they arrested me in D.C. And the reason why I went back to D.C. was because I wanted to go watch the inauguration with my own eyes, Noel, because I still don't believe that Joe Biden is the duly elected president, and I didn't think it was ever going to take place. And then, too, we had President Trump that was making such a strong statement that China had stolen the election. And whenever you have the President of the United States saying that a communist country as China stole the election, in my opinion at that time, I thought, there's no way they're going to walk away from this,
Yeah.
because
Little
really,
did you know.
if you really boil it down, if that's really the truth, and Trump really did believe that, I would believe that should have been a call for an act of war.
You would think so, wouldn't you?
I mean, why? And why say with such adamancy that China stole the election so specifically, and then
Not take action.
not be able to back and not. Where's the
action.
I mean,
The consequences.
in my world, if somebody cheats you or steals from you, you count the cost. If they steal a hubcap off your truck, then maybe you just watch them from then on, and you never do business with them again. But if they steal your future and your children's future, you don't allow that to happen.
That's right. Well, I
You
was
go
just
to war.
actually talking to Patriot Street Fighter just was on, and
Yes.
I just had mentioned that too. Like, I had never been involved really at all in any of this politics. I've been in Arizona almost 23 years. But I have kids, they're
Yes,
16
ma'am.
and 19, my boys, and one's still in school, and, I love President Trump. I got involved then,
Sure.
and then the election audit came, and now the mandates, and my son with the mask. Now, thank God, our district doesn't do masks, and our governor, Ducey, did, I will say, people say bad things about him. He's not always awesome,
Yeah.
true, but he did protect our kids from the mask mandates and from the shot mandates. And so I will say 100% I love him for that.
Sure.
And we appreciate that he did that, because our
Sure.
kids, my son has asthma. Wearing a mask for 8 hours is it's absurd anyway to
Oh.
begin with. But when kids have issues, it's really horrific. So I want to talk to you real quick, though. You mentioned the border.
Yes.
We're a border state.
Yes.
I mean, I went today, I stopped at the 99-cent store on the way in here to grab some stuff, and what do I see there but 25, 30 young males congregated outside in the parking lot, kind of parting themselves out as people drive through, kind of approaching the cars, looking for work, right? They're not here legally. I mean, God bless them for wanting to work, I will say that, because hard workers, we don't mind
Yeah,
them
sure.
here, honestly. But what are you seeing at the border? Like, you're right there, too.
It's the most dangerous environment that you can imagine.
What do you see coming over? People who don't think there's something going on in the border, like my friends in Oregon, or people where I grew up in Oregon, some people don't think that this is really happening. Or
Oh.
they think it's like, it's being blown out of proportion. Or what you see on TV is, they're replaying it. It's not, it's the same group of people, the same group of 2,000, or same group of 500. Or they took out 22 people last week from the inside of a truck. The inside of the truck, 22 of the semi inside the truck, not the back there.
Yeah.
So you see that there too.
Yeah. Being a county commissioner, I stay in very close contact with our county sheriff, and as the border goes, so does the crime go in our
Right.
in my county and in our communities. As the border is there's surges in seizures, there's surges in violent crimes, there's surges.
And you're seeing bad people come over.
Oh.
Now you're catching a lot of them, I'm sure,
Yeah.
or some of them. Now Greg Abbott just is implementing some stuff down there in Texas to try to put his own wall up, to finish the wall. Are you getting a good amount of assistance from your local law enforcement to maybe take bigger steps at your personal border? Or is that a problem?
New Mexico, unfortunately, is very liberal, and
They don't mind criminals coming across?
so many on the liberal left, the progressive left, profit through cartel support. I'm sorry to say it, and that'll blow their
considering
gaskets.
our government funds the cartel.
You know,
I mean,
and if you don't think
if
you don't think that the cartel isn't involved in American politics, you're crazy.
Yeah. So I would tell everybody, because I just saw this show Narcos. Like my 19-year-old turned me onto it, and it's about stuff in the long time ago when the Noriega stuff was going on, and the cocaine coming over here, and the CIA bringing it over here, and then using it to fund what they were doing over there. So. Just watch an episode. Watch 2 episodes. Actually, election fraud happened in that exactly how it happened here in America, and that was like a 20-year-old story. So I would say watch that. Sometimes reality or TV is actually more like reality than people actually say. So is there something you think you can do down there to maybe start stemming that from continuing?
Possibly. I mean, there's always things we can do. The biggest thing that needs to be done in America today is local governments need to get stronger. Our county commission boards have great strength inside the Constitution to pass policy, procedure, and ordinances that will protect the rights to freedoms and the security of the people. And our county sheriffs are so instrumental in this fight right now. So many times we look at the county sheriff like it's a law enforcement position. But it's not, Noelle. It's a political position, and it's the most important political position we have. That's why we give the man a gun and a badge and put him in charge of the law.
Protecting us, yeah.
So, many times with our sheriffs, and I have many good friends that are sheriffs back home, but many times the rubber never hits the road. They have a real good spiel, and they say, we call the COVID mandates unconstitutional, and we're not going to enforce them. But for me, that doesn't go far enough, because if the sheriff calls them unconstitutional and he declares to be the chief law enforcement in the land, then I want him to keep them from being enforced. And that takes telling state or federal agencies to get the heck out of the county, that would be the rubber hitting the road. And unfortunately, we haven't seen a lot of that.
Where are you guys on mask mandates? I know you have a son. I don't know if you have any other kids, but a young son.
The schools
where are you guys at with that?
The schools are still forcing children in them. Our school boards are still forcing. It's just... So
people need to wake up on your local level. We were talking about it last hour too. People need to wake up on their local level. The school boards are key. You have to go to meetings.
Absolutely.
You have to run or volunteer or canvass or work at the polls, work on election day. Just help a local candidate who you believe in is going to make a change, so that they have people on the ground to volunteer and help their candidacy get into office, so we can take out the people who are ruining our country literally by the day.
Absolutely. And that's what the people need to do, is to force your locally elected official to honor their oath of office, because so many times on the local level, we've been intimidated to the point where we say, oh, we have to follow state law. Oh, but it's state law. But I always remind my fellow commissioners that my allegiance is through my oath to the people. I didn't take an oath to the state of New Mexico. I didn't take an oath to the federal government. I took an oath to the people. And so if we can get that going, and we can get our rightful place back on the local county level, then we the people will be truly represented, because the voice of the people is first expressed through the local level.
That's where it starts.
Amen.
In the neighborhoods,
and that's why we have a republic. The Democrats are always saying our democracy is under attack. Our democracy is under attack.
They mean their democracy is under attack, is what they mean.
The thing that threatens them the most is our republic waking up, because we're a republic. We're not a democracy like they want to try to. We're formed through a democracy. The republic is structured through the democratic process. But at the end of the day, we're a republic. What's a republic? A republic means that the people have the voice and the federal government doesn't. But see, they control everybody from the top. They put all their laws and their legal net, and it's like a pyramid all the way down. And then all of a sudden you have the eye that's censoring and watching everybody. and you look at the pyramid and the eyeball thing, and it makes more and more sense all the time.
It's unraveling.
It's a system of control from the top down.
That's right. It's gone completely.
But we got to break
inverted.
them loose at the grassroots. How do we do that? I think we can do it through these audits. I think these audits.
So too. We need more people to be more brave in their counties and really look into, and really honestly, if there is nothing wrong, wouldn't we all be glad? Everybody says we'd be so glad if nothing's wrong. We don't know if we don't look. So what's the problem in looking? And if they don't want to look, then you probably should think there's a problem.
I know.
Right?
I know.
Does that make sense? Like, common sense has seriously gone out the window. So we're glad you have some common sense.
Well, I appreciate that.
New Mexicans, I'm sure, we're in your area are pleased to have you there as well. We would love to have you up here. If you ever want to relocate, we'd love you in Arizona.
Yeah, I'd
Just
love
know that.
Arizona.
What happens after your seat comes up, expires, and where are you going to go with that? You're going to stay in somehow to help people?
I could run for another term as county commissioner, and I haven't ruled it completely out yet. I've thought about running for a higher office,
So
but
we'll see then.
why do you want to invest all the time, energy, and effort that it takes to run a campaign if you're just going to get it stolen from you at the end of the day,
Right.
which is what is going on in New Mexico right now.
Right.
So that's why my focus right now is the electorate. We get the electorate secure, and then we can make sure we get right people in the offices.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much
Thank you,
for spending so much
Noelle.
time.
Absolutely.
It was really nice meeting you.
Pleasure's
We hope
mine.
to see you if you're over in Arizona.
Okay.
We hope to see you again, and
All right.
enjoy the rally tomorrow.
And any of your people out there
Yes.
that are praying people, I have
6th.
2 cases that are going to be heard orally in the 10th Circuit on January the 21st. Sydney Powell's representing me against the state of New Mexico in one case,
right.
and then I'm being sued by the chairman of the Democrat Party of my county because I blocked him on my personal Facebook page. I know, it makes
He's
you.
suing you because you blocked him
I
on your
blocked him on my
personal
personal Facebook page, and it's comical, but at the same time, it's very serious because.
That's unbelievable.
And the gist of his argument is he's saying, since I'm an elected official, I
have
have
to
to allow
allow
him to participate in the conversation. But if he wins this case, it's going to set precedents for all the other elected officials, and it's going to mean you can't ever get away from them. I mean,
don't see how that could
politics is brutal enough, and it's so hard. But maybe if you have your own personal space that you can go to,
Right.
you can get away from them. But if they allow this to happen,
infringe in your
then
space.
you won't ever be able to get away from them. So
No.
I have those 2, and then my January 6th case is on March 21st. I'll be
They
in
haven't charged you. I'm assuming they haven't charged
They
you.
have charged me. They've charged me.
charges?
The
'Cause I'm
charge
hearing
is a
today about-
misdemeanor charge. It's
Parading and-
knowingly entering into an unauthorized zone with the willful intent to disrupt the certification of the election.
But
which
even as an officer of your state, I mean, is that you're not allowed to enter the Capitol as a commissioner in a county of the United States of America? Does that kind of qualify you?
you would think,
Yeah.
but I mean, I didn't go into the Capitol again. I was
Right,
I was charged with I crossed
On the steps
over
of the pavement?
a zone, somewhere. The D.C. Capitol Police had already taken the barricades down, and
As
they'd
we all
already
saw,
been
right?
waving
Like,
everybody
come
in.
on in. And what are the consequences they're trying to?
6 months, I think, or a year in jail, and so I can't
Okay.
even know. You know
Matt,
what? That's how scared I am. That's how concerned
You're not
I
even
am.
paying attention.
Forget
Yeah.
about it. We're going to beat them. They're going to go down whenever. I've denied 2 plea deals to date.
As you should.
And the reason why is I want to go to trial, because whenever we go to
Yes,
trial,
they have to bring
now
the
we
discovery.
petition for the
Yes.
exculpatory
Yes.
evidence, which will
Which
give
they
us
keep-
access to 14,000 hours of video.
So, in theory, I just
In
talked to
theory.
somebody else who's going through that, and they said actually that they haven't produced anything for his attorney. They won't produce any discovery at all, and they're trying to charge him too. So, if they can't produce anything, they can't really prosecute you fully. So we hope that is what the case is, and they don't come up with anything.
We're
kinda
gonna
out of their
win.
hat. I expect you
We're
will,
getting
because you
them.
didn't do anything wrong.
That's right. That's
So
right.
we'll be praying for you too.
Thank you, Noelle.
Please keep us apprised. Let's keep in touch. I'd
Let's
love
do
to
that.
hear how these things go.
Yes, ma'am.
And we'll just be keeping you in our prayers and
I
our hearts.
appreciate
So
you.
we look
Thank you
forward to
so
meeting you
much.
again soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. God
Alrighty.
bless you.
Fantastic.